Once, there lived a boy in a town. One day, he came to visit his grandfather during his summer holidays. He used to play with his grandpa all the time. One day, he said to his grandpa, "Grandpa, when I grow up, I want to become a successful man. Can you tell me some ways to be successful?" Grandpa nodded in yes and took boy with him to a nearby nursery. From nursery, his grandpa bought two small plants and came back home. Then he planted one plant in a pot and kept it inside the house, and planted other plant outside the house. What do you think? Which of these two plants will grow better in future? Grandfather asked the boy. Boy kept thinking for some time and then said, "Plant inside the house will grow better because it is safe from every danger, while plant outside is at risk of many things like strong sunlight, storm, rain, and animals." Grandfather smiled and said, "Let us see what happens in future." After that, the boy left from there. After 4 years, boy came to visit his grandfather again. When boy saw his grandfather, he asked him, "Grandpa, last time I asked you a question, how to be successful in life, but you did not tell me anything. But this time, you have to tell me." Grandfather smiled and said, "Sure, but first, let us take a look at plants that we bought few years back." Saying this, grandfather took boy to place where he had planted small plant in a pot. They saw that the small plant had turned into a big plant. Then he took boy to look at the plant which they had planted outside. They saw that a big tree had grown out of a small plant. Its branches spread far and wide, providing shade to passerby. Now, grandfather looked at boy and asked, "Tell me, which plant grew more? Which is more successful?" Boy replied, "The one we planted outside." "But grandpa, how is this possible? That plant must have faced so many dangers. Still, it grew so big." Grandfather smiled and said, "Yes, plant outside had to face many things, but dealing with problems had its benefits too. Plant outside had freedom to spread its roots as much as it wanted. Problems like storm and heavy rain made its roots even stronger. Today, it is so strong that a small storm cannot cause any harm to it. While the plant we planted inside remains small and it is weak too, because it did not withstand the heavy storms, rain, and strong sunlight." Then grandfather looked at his grandson and said, "My son, always remember that unless you struggle in life, unless you go through difficulties, you too will not be able to achieve success in your life. If you will make comfortable choices, then you will not be able to grow as you can. And if you are ready to struggle and go through difficulties, then no goal is impossible for you to achieve. Therefore, never think of problems as hurdles, but think of them as stepping stones towards success." Boy took a long breath and started looking at tree. The words of his grandfather were echoing in his mind. Obstacles, which we consider as enemies in our life, the same obstacles makes us stronger and more successful in our life. If we see in our lives, then we will find that often in our lives we have to face challenges and difficulties, due to which many times we get disappointed and lose the courage to move forward. But this story of two plants teaches us not to be intimidated by challenges, but to embrace them as an opportunity to learn and grow. Like a plant that was planted outside had to face natural calamities, but with this, it also had the freedom to spread its roots and grow stronger, and thus it transformed into a strong and giant tree. But the plant that was planted inside was saved from natural calamities, but it remained small and weak. From this, we get to learn that the more difficulties and challenges we face in our life, the more the path of success will open for us. It teaches us that we should not be afraid to take risks and step outside our comfort zones. When we face challenges, we have the opportunity to learn and grow stronger. We can also develop the resilience and determination that are essential to success. Of course, overcoming all challenges is not easy. There will be times when we feel defeated or discouraged. But it is important to remember that these are only temporary setbacks. If we learn from them and keep moving forward, we will eventually overcome any challenges that comes our way. So, the next time you face a challenge or face difficult time in your life, don't give up. Take advantage of the opportunity to learn and grow. And always remember that the challenges you face today can make you stronger and more successful tomorrow.